Hi, this is Jason Shadwick with PremierGuitar.com, and we're at the Winter 2011 NAMM show in California. We're at the Seymour Duncan booth with Frank Falbo, and he's going to walk us through the line of all new pickups and products you guys are releasing for 2011. Thanks a lot, Frank.
Oh, absolutely, man. First thing I want to talk about is the Liberator, solderless pickup change system, okay? Now, the Liberator is mounted to your volume potentiometer, so you're going to replace your volume pot with this quality Bourne's potentiometer. That's a Seymour Duncan pot. You have a terminal strip with 4 stations on the back. That's your interconnect for the potentiometer. If you don't want to use those, you can solder directly to the board for the potentiometer. But the real fun comes with these 10 stations up front. This is your pass-through for your 2 4-conductor humbuckers. When the Liberator is installed in your guitar, you will be able to change pickups in a matter of minutes using only a screwdriver. So no longer do you have the obstacle of having to solder the pickups in place, wait for the soldering iron to warm up. Or if you're just kind of new at soldering, or you have that hardware store soldering iron that doesn't quite get hot enough to solder to the back of the pots, this thing you just go in, boom, change your pickups and you're done. It is set up for 2 humbuckers. At some point we'll release a Stratocaster version as well. But for right now, we have the 2 humbucker version. If somebody really wants to, they can repurpose these wires for some other task. So you could have a single coil take these 2 and these 2, and then a humbucker over here or whatever. Essentially, these color codes are lined up so that it matches up with the Seymour Duncan 4-conductor humbucker color codes. Next up, I'm going to talk about the Blackouts Modular Preamp. Now, Blackouts Modular Preamp is essentially the preamp that's inside of our Blackouts pickups. It's a critically acclaimed preamp. It's the reason that Blackouts have such low noise and high headroom and extreme dynamic range. What we did is we took it out of the pickup and put it into the control cavity. Again, using the bare wire lockdown system, you're going to come in and out of this thing with your screw terminals like that, right? Set up for 2 4-conductor humbuckers with all the stations on the back for like output 9 volts, ground, the potentiometer in and out. Any 4-conductor humbucker can drive this preamp. We have a coil pack set available as well. If you buy the coil pack and you match that with the preamp, now you have the sound of original Blackouts. But you can still play around. You can put the Blackouts preamp on your 59, on your JB, on your HD, on the stock pickups that came in the guitar. Doesn't matter. You can put any of those pickups into the Blackouts Modular Preamp and just see what happens. As you guys know, this is our 35th anniversary. So we have a 35th anniversary commemorative JB and Jazz set. The JB and Jazz, the production JB and Jazz have been the same ever since they went into production when Seymour Duncan became a company and started selling them, right? But we've done a few things to modernize it, because when you have those long legs on the base plate, you can't fit it into a Strat. Some other guitars, you can't fit those in. Everybody wants 4-conductor humbucker cables so they can coil split it. And so what we did on the 35th anniversary commemorative JB Jazz set is we made them to look like the pickups that you would get if you went in a time machine and you did go back to the early 80s or late 70s and you bought a JB and a Jazz. What you have here is a butyrate bobbins, a maple spacer, a long-legged base plate, and so just those little visual appointments to make it like it was when you bought one then. The Antiquity JB and Jazz are made in that way with the butyrate bobbins, the maple spacer, the rough cast Alnico 5 magnet, the long-legged base plate, but then of course they go through Seymour's Antiquity process. So now that is like, rather than a time machine, that's like if you found a 30-year-old JB or Jazz today and you bought it today. And when you think about it, this really hit me. When Seymour started making faithful vintage recreations of the humbuckers that came in the earliest electric guitars, those pickups were as old as the JB and Jazz is today. So it's time now to treat them with the Antiquity process. And so the Antiquity JB and Jazz will do that. I have one right here, so you can see some of the aging on it, string wear and tear, the way we did the magnets, the long-legged base plate. You can't see the maple spacer in there, but it's in there. That's going to not just look, but also sound like a 30-year-old pickup. Available from the custom shop, 53 tap Tele Model T set. This is a tapped bridge pickup with a 5-way switch and a standard neck pickup. You know, 2-conductor neck pickup, so that you can set your guitar up. Some of Seymour's friends have done this. It's been kind of an underground set, but we're going to bring it out as a set from the custom shop. You know, bridge position tapped, bridge position full, and then the neck position is in the middle. Custom shop JB and Jazz concept. Now you remember I said we've been in business 35 years. The JB and Jazz concept set goes back even farther than that, to really when Seymour was working in London, when he was basically working, you know, we like to say when you're drawing in pencil still, you know, these are the pickups that became the JB and Jazz. But of course Seymour was working with what he had, you know, still kind of, you know, making those first prototypes and things like that. So this is a JB and Jazz concept set. The custom shop will make those available. It is also the pickup that will be in the Seymour Duncan 35th anniversary commemorative guitar. Also available in the Antiquity series is the Antiquity humbuckers and Firebirds available in gold. We've got the aging process on the gold covers now, so now it's going to look like a 30, 35, 50, 55-year-old pickup that had been plated gold originally. There's some new Telecaster pickup sets. The Broadcaster and the bridge and the vintage and the neck makes the Broadcaster set, and the Hot Rails bridge and the Hot Rails neck make the Hot Rails Tele set. Those pickups are individual by themselves are insanely popular, and so now we've made it so that people can purchase those in a set. Epiphone came out with the Nighthawk guitar this year. They're reissuing the Nighthawk. Gibson had a Nighthawk back in the past. It's got that slanted bridge pickup. That's kind of what makes one of the things that make the guitar unique. What we've done is we've come in to support them, and we're going to make a JB and a 59 available with the Nighthawk base plate in that slanted configuration, so that people who buy that guitar have a choice. They can they can replace their pickups if they want to. The P-rails are available in Trembucker spacing now. The original P-rails bridge pickup can be had in Trembucker spacing. They've been wildly successful since we launched them, selling 2 to 3 times our initial predictions. We're very happy about that. It just tells us that the market is ready for some new and different ideas. They're willing to accept it. So now, right away, people started asking, can I get it in Trembucker? Can I get it in Trembucker? So now they can. Now we move on to the Seymour Duncan Zephyr Silver series of pickups. This is going to be a humbucker set, a Strat set, and a Telecaster set. And these pickups represent basically what happens when all of the rules are thrown out the window and you can be allowed in the R&D department to just think of the ultimate, right? So the first thing we're doing is using silver wire. The conductivity of silver is different than copper. Many people consider it to be better sounding in the hi-fi arena when it comes to transformers and other things. Even cables. There's a cable debuting here at the show with a silver core and a copper outer wrap. So it's understood that that produces a sonic advantage. So you have silver wire wrapped around the bobbins. Then the pickups are cryogenically treated when they're completed. Yet another thing that changes the cell structure. The humbuckers also are wound on glass-filled nylon bobbins. That's a bobbin material that during sound tests we felt sounded the best. And finally, on the humbuckers, we're using a bimetallic pole piece. That's a steel outer cylinder bored out with a solid nickel core. Those two different metals together in that configuration produce a different magnetic field, but also just a different tone density than a standard slug. Now, all of those things together make a pickup that sounds burstier. It sounds a lot faster. The initial transients, the attack, your finger noise on the strings, all those things come out a little bit more. And we all heard it in the sound room. I mean, we all have done extensive listening tests on this, and not one person said, I can't hear the difference, or I don't understand, what I'm listening for. So there's a difference in all of these things when you look at them a la carte, but you put them all together and you get a premium pickup. But as far as our a la carte goes, we're going to make some of the stuff available through the custom shop as well. If you say, I want a JB with silver wire, MJ in the custom shop, they're going to say okay, and then that'll be something that you can get. You can say I want a 59 with the bimetallic pole pieces, or you can say get me an SSL1 cryogenically treated, and those things will be available through the custom shop a la carte onto different pickups. But you put all those things together and you get the Zephyr Silver Series. And finally, we've got the YJM high-speed volume pot. We have our Seymour Duncan potentiometers available, but in addition, Yngwie needs an extremely fast potentiometer for really quick ons and offs. He almost uses it like an on-off switch, boom, boom, boom. And so that potentiometer is super fast and it suits his needs.
Well, thanks, Frank, taking the time. And where can people go online to find out more details about all these products?
SeymourDuncan.com, of course.
This is Jason Shadrick with PremierGuitar.com.